Hello, are you there?
I am here.
Yeah, I'm in La Havre, but it's not quite what you think. My plane got in like 6 hours late. There was some ridiculous delay. So you gave me the guy's name, and I talked to his brother on the phone. But when I got here, there was this note on the door, and I mean, I don't know if you've even gotten the text yet. It's taking forever to send photos, but I took a photo of the note. I can't read. I think it's Portuguese. Do you have that?
Yeah, hold on.
I'm actually inside the shop now. Even the door was closed. I kind of, I mean, it's 10 o'clock at night. I came all this way. I wanted to see inside, so I kind of, unofficially let myself in. Um, but I haven't been able to get in touch with Silva, so I don't know what's going on. So I don't know. Maybe the note explains something. I think it's Portuguese.
Yeah, it is. I'm not gonna believe this. This note is the shopkeeper is dead. He died this morning. Oh, this note looks to be written by his brother.
Does
Say
Dario die? That's what it says.
yes, yes. That's what I can make out. How strange. Just apologizing for the shop closing indefinitely. Uh, thanking thanking people for
Oh my God.
years of service. I didn't expect that. So what is going on there? Are the lights off? Is there anyone there? You said
No,
the
I mean
door
the
was
lights are
open.
off. There's a little bit of light, but there's no one in here. I didn't realize. When you described it to me, I didn't realize there was such a little, teeny tiny, little narrow shop. But I mean, if he died, he died this
Oh,
morning. I mean, it's
oh, this is so unnerving and strange. This timing and sad. Uh,
yeah. I mean, you told me that he wasn't well, but I just
yeah.
well, I mean, I'm inside. I mean, you wanted me to see the shop, and I'm inside it, and it looks like there's a lot of stuff to look at. I mean, there are doll houses like kind of crammed everywhere in various states of either repair or construction. It's like, you wouldn't even know it's a shop. It's more like a studio, but it's like, yeah, I guess there's things for sale, but so yeah.
What 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 do you see? What do you see there? Is it? Can you get any kind of light on, or are you kind of too nervous
Yeah.
to?
Well, it's kind of I mean, you should tell me it was, I mean, definitely not a very nice street here in La Havre. It's kind of a grungy neighborhood. I mean, I prefer to kind of keep the lights down. I can see. I mean, I don't know if I'm going to be able to take or even send you photos of this stuff. I guess I can describe what I see. Actually, yeah, there's some pretty interesting doll houses here that I guess he was working on it. There's this one on top of the cabinet here. I was just looking at it, and it was, it kind of looks like an average dollhouse. It's like 3 stories, very nicely done. But it looked like it was. I originally thought it was like very badly damaged, but then I look at it more closely, and these scorch marks, these burn marks in one quarter of it. These were actually constructed. These were painted on like very cleverly. So it's like it's a normal dollhouse that he made to appear suffered a kind of a horrific fire. There's like in the little bedroom here in the corner has little charred furniture. And I look at it, and I mean, I know you told me that he he commissioned some various strange things, but yeah, it's kind of amazing, the visual effect of this nice dollhouse. But yeah, he did a hell of a job to make it look like it did suffered horrific damage. But you kind of wonder why.
When I was there before, it was a pretty turbulent time in my life. It was in my 20s, and as so many people do during that time of their life, they were traveling around. And I just remember, having such a mix of feelings about the shop itself, because I had a warm feeling about him, about the shopkeeper, but I also could see evidence, obviously, that he had some very peculiar ideas. I just hadn't seen anything like some of the houses. I don't even know if I can call them houses. I remembered them for years and years as being almost a strange hybrid of like doll houses and dioramas and even terrariums, because there were in some there was wood and glass, and I remember strange creatures, small strange animals, hybrid animals as well, inhabiting these kind of wild and frightening little stages. And I just I thought that because of my state of mind at that time and during those years, that I might have been exaggerating my memory, or just filling in some blanks, how you will. But I when I found some images of his work recently online, there's not very many really, but I did find a few, and I have to say they were just as strange and haunting as I remember them being. He started taking walks in the evening. He walked down and up, keeping the streetcar tracks on his right like a steel stream. About a quarter mile from the apartment, he passed one of those concentrated half blocks of shops, isolated, nestled in, village-like. And maybe what he liked most was the way its placement was such that he couldn't see the tall buildings and lights and the jagged-toothed cityscape nearby. The street had a precious quality, lost in time, like costume jewelry, an old junk ring, and the enclosing round trees and trellises made it quiet. Besides, if he wanted to see the city so much, and sometimes he did, admittedly, need to feel dwarfed by it, feel chewed and shaken and shorn, he could view it plainly from the window in his home, in the home he shared with her. But here, there was a guitar in the window feel here, a push aside the curtains feel, a gaze at the painted stars feel. They had been fighting a lot lately. Their love was stretched and mean. He didn't know if the walks helped, but he didn't know what else to do. Well, that's not completely true. He could do something, he knew. But he wasn't sure he wanted to. He liked to stop in front of the antique store, look in at the objects in the dark like rocks getting harder to see down in water. A dollhouse was pushed up to the front window glass. It was big, orderly, its ant farm compartments stacked like terrarium blocks. There were little lamps and little plates and little paintings on the wallpapered walls. Each night, the bulbs glowed like fireflies and made shadows through the rooms and across the floors, just like in a real house, And different rooms were lit, and different plates were placed, and the dolls were put in different ways each day. Just like a real house. All the dolls in this house were girls. They did not particularly resemble one another, the way they would if they came from the same set, or were they meant for this house over another. There were 3. One had gold corkscrew storybook curls. One was taller and serious, with dark hair painted on the shaped mold of her head. One had a beachy-looking sheath that fell down divided by her tiny shoulders. His life unraveled over the course of 5 nights. 5 walks. 5 passes in front of the window of the shop. They happened as follows. Sunday. The dolls were placed in rooms as far away as possible, within the tableau, from one another. One was upstairs, one downstairs in the kitchen by a closed door, and one was on the far right edge near a window. They were facing different directions, like they had split up, like they were looking for something. Monday. The dolls were in the kitchen. They sat at the table, awkwardly, incompletely bent. Only one of them seemed to have hinges at hips. 2 of them leaned into chairs, taking the light doll weight on their spines and the backs of their legs. It gave them a raised, chaotic look, like they were laughing so hard. Tuesday. The dolls were in the beds upstairs. He saw now that there were little night lights in the little outlets. In 2 of the rooms, some of the furniture pieces were pushed against the doors. In the 3rd bedroom, the largest one, this had not happened. But there was a little hatchet atop a little dresser. And downstairs in the kitchen, the cellar door was open. Wednesday. The dolls numbered 4 now. Another had entered the house. This one was a boy, and he was not whole. He was missing a right arm and a left leg. He sat on the floor by the cellar, against the brown cupboards, and he seemed to be trying to get up or push himself somewhere. There was a tension in him. He had glossy lips and round pink cheeks. He was wearing a uniform, something tan. It was torn with loose threads at the shoulder and thigh. The girl dolls were in the living room with a tiny candle, mouths open, as if to sing. They were holding little hands. Thursday. The dolls were not in the house anymore. They were outside. They were outside the house, on the lawn if there was a lawn, or where it would be if there wasn't, in the drive if there was a path cut for cars. They were at the window, at the street. They were pressed. They were going to get out. Behind them there was something left of the boy, but not enough. They saw him, and the city screamed nearby, and the little shop was a dark place, a threshold, an egress, a kiln. Some nights later, when the neighbors noticed the lights in their apartment going off one by one, slowly, failing by voltage strength, and even later when neither the man nor his wife appeared anywhere ever again, there would be talk of witches, of murder, of the house and the shop on the street.
Looking at this, I'm looking at this one here. There's kind of 2 side by side over here in the corner. It's very dusty. So there's one, okay, it's another, it's like a nice 3-story dollhouse. But he's got a family in this one. And the family is, they're kind of, 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 they But the family is spread around in various rooms. And, okay, so we have in this one little room in the dollhouse, there's two kids. So they're playing. But then on the ceiling, upside down, he has the same figures, like little brother and sister, but, instead of rolling this ball to each other, they're kind of pointing, like accusingly at each other. And then downstairs, you have the same thing going on with a mother and father, like they're having a conversation in the kitchen, but then the same identical figures are upside down from the kitchen ceiling, but they're obviously like having a very vicious argument. So it's like this weird depiction of these double lives in this dollhouse. And oh God, even the little dog and the cat over here in the little dining room. The ceiling of the dining room, there are the dog and cat again, upside down, except the dog actually has the cat, it's got the cat's neck in his mouth. So it's like this violent depiction of the life that's going on the normal level, very, and then the other one, it just looks like a parking garage. It's not even a dollhouse. It's like a little miniature parking garage. I'm looking through it, and then there's cars spread throughout this parking garage, and then on like the third tier here, there's like 6 or 7 little plastic figures, and there's like an operating table, and there's a surgeon operating on someone with some spectators watching. It's on the floor of this parking garage, and that's it. That's the only unusual thing about this structure. So I don't know. I mean, I know you mentioned that mostly he was commissioned by other people to do these, but then sometimes he did. I mean, it's just very strange. But at the same time, I mean, there's some completely normal stuff here. I guess, I mean, he had to make a living. Oh, God, and there's, over in the corner here. Hold on a second, I want to get a little bit more light on this. I just feel so weird about being here. I don't want to draw any attention. So it's like a barracks. I would say it's like a barracks, because inside there's like bunk beds, and it's like adults in this barracks, populating the bunk beds and kind of standing around. There's a little shower area, and then outside you can see that there are guards. So kind of when I step back and I look at this is obviously some kind of a prison, but everyone is in street clothes. There's like a man outside each door of this barracks guarding. So I don't know if it's like a depiction of some kind of work camp or concentration camp, but there's he's got the snow on the ground. But it's weird, like where you would expect people to be wearing uniforms or prison garb, they're just dressed in what you and I would wear on the street every day. Very, very strange.
Gosh, I wonder. I can't help but try to get my head around. Like, I wonder what part of what you're seeing is coming from the inside of his own head, and what are objects that he was asked to interpret from other people's heads. I don't know if unless there's some sort of placard or notes on the work, it may be impossible to tell.
Nothing. I guess, this is all kind of in mid progress.
Draft copy for brochure. Found in file drawer of farmhouse workshop of deceased. September 1973. Dear patron, at Hyde and Associates, we are artists specializing in crafting true-to-life miniatures of existing premises and facades. For example, of your own house, farm, or shop, business premises, etc. Additionally, miniature reconstructions of memory-built sites, ghost sites, or no longer existing premises are also possible. Our miniatures stand out from average scale models because of our attention to individual details, the neglected, the hazy, the impossible, the strange. Our aim is to imitate the life of a structure as authentically as possible. Skilled artistry and patience are combined with great thoroughness in scale-bound precision, working features, and finish. The result is a personal, exclusive, and enduring collector's item of your home or business. We are proud to help you find what you're looking for, to ask questions you've longed to ask, whether you find the answers on your journey with us or you do not. We understand that not all aspects of a building can be accessed through its typical dimensional means, that to unlock its hidden qualities, one might need to see it differently from another angle, to enter through a different door. Perspective, we've learned, can make all the difference. You may begin by asking yourself some important questions. What are you looking for that you're missing? What happened that night in the hall? Had you ever heard sounds you couldn't explain behind the walls? Had you ceased being able to depend on the clock's time? What did you see in the attic? On the stairs? What do you hope to unlock about your home by rebuilding, by shrinking down to size? What bones underneath? How old the bones? Or, if there are no bones, what ate them? Existing construction drawings are very welcome, but not necessary. We can add stone or brick foundations, slate walks, tile or marble foyer, electrical plugs and lights, hand-cut stone chimney, porches, room alterations, and more. What are the dimensions of your fear? Is it tangled, like your small house, or simple as the grave? If you are interested in having a miniature built, you obviously want to know the costs. As you can imagine, building time and price depends on the complexity of the object to be constructed. Who's still alive? Who's dead? What are you terrified of? Until now, we have always built our miniatures for people who have special ties with and love for their house, shop, farm, etc. This emotional involvement makes our miniatures very suitable as a personal treasure or an excellent company gift. In closing, we will ask you to consider, what is worse in your mind, in your screaming chest? Someone hiding in the house to take your body apart? Or hidden parts of your body to take apart the house?
So I'm just kind of wondering, kind of in the back here, I'm just curious. I'm just going to push this curtain open. Okay, so yeah, he's got like a little apartment behind it. I guess, he was living here. I want to leave, and I just want to take a quick look. There's obviously nobody here. And he's got a little kitchenette here. Yeah, it's. When I was talking to his brother on the phone, and I just got the impression that he was not a very social person. This little this little apartment here doesn't look like a very this little bedroom, I guess. Oh.
What?
Oh, Jesus. Oh God.
What?
He's here in the bedroom. Yeah, it's his body's here. His body's here.
Why would that be? Whoa.
Yeah,
I don't understand.
No, he's just lying here peacefully. I mean, if he just died this morning, yeah, he's just lying on his bed. He just looks. I mean, they've got him in a suit, and he's. Yeah, the weird thing is that there's a doll beside him on the pillow, a little doll. It's like a little dollhouse doll. It's like a plastic figurine. It's maybe 4 inches high. It's just a little boy. You know, it's kind of like in a sitting position, kind of propped up against the pillow, and it's just beside him. It's just beside him. And the little boy's got kind of like his arms out in front of him, like a little doll in a sitting position. Yeah, that's him. This is Silva. That is strange. Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna. I shouldn't have come back here. Okay, I'm going back out here into the shop. Well, I mean, I can't believe he died this morning. I guess, I saw what you wanted me to see, right? I got to the shop, and tomorrow I can go go about my business across the city. But this place, this whole shop is just obviously just all these ghosts of all these doll houses, kind of going up on the high shelves. I mean, I'm sure there's much more to look at here, but now I'm just feeling very strange. I don't know why he's here. I don't know why they haven't taken him away. Yeah, why don't I call you back when I get out of Le Havre and find my hotel for the night, and I don't know, maybe you can tell me a bit more about him, but I gotta leave this shop now, all right?
It wasn't till she put the dollhouse in the closet that she got scared. She liked very much on Saturdays to watch a cartoon where small creatures tried to live in a mostly big world. They looked like people, but had tufted tails, and would make use of whatever they could find in whatever way they could. Peanut shells for snowshoes, buttons for wheels, caps of pens as buckets for gathering rain. She imagined them, and thought that by doing so she could call them in a way, could make friends, because her days would be more interesting. She liked the thought of unseen things, parallel, magic, full of guess, but also of no. She imagined them visiting her house at night, moving through, under tables, the fringed couch. She liked what else thinking about them made her think about her world, the little things she saw every day, the depressions on a decorative plate, a curled lip for cream, the seam on a sheet. To her, a strawberry was small, but to them, it was the size of an Easter balloon, of 3 sewing machines stacked. She set up a matchbox table in the corner of her closet and draped a Kleenex over it, placed a cough syrup cap filled with water next to 2 upturned thimbles set and leaning woozily from their slightly convex tips. She broke a Ritz cracker into shards. She made a sign on a neon green sticky note and pressed it into the wall above the table. She had moved her shoes over and pulled out the stuffed animals from the closet floor to make a space. "Welcome," the sign said. She closed the closet door most of the way. She listened for them, their little whispers and scratches and feet, when she went to sleep and when she woke in the night. She checked inside the closet first thing in the morning and first thing when she came home from school. Some days passed, and it occurred to her they might be shy or scared, still reluctant to make themselves known. Maybe she drove them away. Maybe they thought it was a trap. After a week or so, she wanted to ramp things up. She removed the matchbox and moved the dollhouse on her dresser to the closet corner instead. She thought this might extend a greater enticement. Of course, she couldn't be sure their exact scale. Since they were never seen, she would have to guess, and recognize that the dimensions were possibly unsuitable and a bit too small, the rooms too cramped, the doors lame. But it was the best she had to offer. She turned the open face of the house against the corner she sensed they were entering by, the darkest one, the farthest part. This would be yet even more welcoming, she assured herself, and would give them some privacy besides. 3 nights later, when the wind had picked up and bore away the icy clouds, as if off downstream from the east, the blinking windows of the light bulb shop decked out for dark snow, she finally heard them. "Hi," they said from the closet. "Hi," she tried to whisper, but couldn't for her heart. She knew she had made a terrible mistake. "Are you there?"